my new wheels. I'm in Edinburgh, about to try and cycle home to Dalgety Bay. My first foray into an electric bike. Let's see how we get on. So, I've managed to find a cycle path. I come from the centre of Edinburgh at Lothian Road, where Evans Cycles is. And so far the electric bike has proven itself to be really easy to use. Well, here we are. We're on the cycle path heading home to Dalgety Bay. I've just left Evans, which is near Lothian Road. I've somehow managed to find the cycle path, and the bike so far has been good. And I've never used the Garmin for actually going anywhere. This is the first time I've used it, and without it I would never ever have found this path. So I'm going to carry on, see how we get on. But so far, so good. Works really well. Just getting used to the gears. Yep, I like it a lot. Go for now. Bye. Okay, so I left Evans near Lothian Road. Not a clue, in the middle of Edinburgh, not a clue where any cycle paths are, because I've just never done it in Edinburgh. But luckily, the Garmin fits right on this bike in place of the normal computer. So I've been able to use the maps. The first time I've ever used the maps on the Garmin cycle computer. I've always used it just when I've been out training on the bike. Now, the basket is going to come off. It just rattles too much and it just looks daft, I think. I mean, it's adjusted to this kind of bike. It is an electric bike. It's a nice bike. It's a specialised ComoSL 5. It's got belt drive. It's got an 8-speed hub. I've always wanted the internal gears in the belt drive on a bike. I've always fancied trying it. After years and years of having the derailleurs, it coming from a time when it was Stirling Archer 3-speed gears. But the electric assist really does help. This bike gives you 2 times electric assist. You kind of don't notice it because you're just trundling along faster. You're not really, you do have to work at points. Depends on what you do with the gears. So you can still get a workout, and that's good. I mean, I didn't want it to be fully electrical. But anyway, I'll go into all the ins and outs of why I chose this bike later on. I just want to get home before the dark. Still got a bit to go. But anyway, so far, so good. Enjoying it. Bye for now. Well, we've made it to the Forth Road Bridge. It's quite a churn to get from the middle of the city to here. And I'm going to say that if I didn't have my sat-nav, I would have no idea where the cycle paths were. Here we are on the Forth Road Bridge. There's a famous Forth Rail Bridge. I always feel I'm getting near home, and I actually live just, if you look across from the bridge there, sort of the first 2 spans right through the middle there. That's where I live, that's where I'm heading. The bike has been absolutely brilliant, and I've got to say, I know the looks would divide you, and the looks divided me a bit as well, because I was a bit sort of not sure about the unisex model, but cycling it doesn't matter, it's still a cycle. And I've got to say that the electrics is brilliant. I mean, you've still got the cycle. This does 2 times your power, and I've got it on the middle setting. I've kept it on the middle setting. But when you need it, just when it's getting that bit tight, that it kicks in and it just helps you, and it just really does make a huge difference to making the journey really pleasurable. You still can work where you want to, and I've got to say that the 8-speed internal gear hub is brilliant, and the belt drive is just so quiet. It's just unbelievable. I also managed to get my standard pannier on it, which was good. And like I said, the sat-nav fits right on the mount. There is a computer you get with it, but it turns out the Garmin sat-nav fits it. So it's really been absolutely brilliant. I've really enjoyed it, and it's a good sturdy bike. It's a specialist, so it's a top make. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great getting around, adventuring and seeing things on this bike, and that's what I'm hoping to do with it. I've still got my gravel bike, and I've still got my touring bike. I'm still doing normal cycling, but this is just going to give me another spin on it, as they say, excuse the pun. Anyway, I'm going to head back because I'm starting to lose the light, but I'll catch you later. Bye for now. We were parked up on the bridge not that long ago. Beautiful night. We've just made it back in time, really. The bike has been really good, fantastic. I've kept it on the middle setting the whole way. I haven't mucked about with the power. I've just kept it in the middle setting, used the gears where I had to. And like I say, when you feel that you're just needing that little bit of a shove, it comes in and helps you. And it doesn't take over. It's not like you're not cycling, you're still cycling. You're just maybe not putting as much effort into it, but you're still putting a good bit of effort in. You still feel like you're getting a workout, that's for sure. But riding the bike is fantastic. The belt drive, the gear change, the whole thing about it is great. The basket's coming off, I just can't hack it. That'll have to come off. But you know, it's a large frame, but you know, I think even Eileen would get on this, which would be great if I could get her back out on a bike again. She would love it. I think the handlebars wouldn't be too high. I think the seat could go down. I think she could cycle this if she wanted to. She probably won't, but you never know. But anyway, it's got all the great bits. It's got proper steel mudguards. It's got a bike frame carrier on it so that you can put your bags on it. This is an old aqua bag that I've got in Oxford. Like I say, my sat nav went straight on it, replaced the computer that came with it. I'm really pleased with it. You know, it's really nice big tyres on it. Beautiful night. I should have probably been out in the Harley today. It was saddle up Saturday, the Edinburgh Harley Davidson. I was tempted to go and do that today, but I knew I was waiting to pick this bike up. Right, so safely home. It was about 16 miles. Unfortunately, I didn't set the computer, the Garmin, to record my route, which I normally do, but because I was so much concentrating on trying to get from the middle of Edinburgh back to Dalgety Bay, I just put in the map setting without thinking. I just actually wanted just to find out what all the cycleways were. So I didn't actually record the distance, but I've done it on Google since I've come in, and it was just under a tad under 16 miles, or probably about 16 miles. I remember the number of times I did a couple of U-turns, so I'm not sure where I was. But that's it back, and it's got its place in the garage next to my Genesis gravel bike. I've also got a Ridgeway Panorama up in the loft, which I've toured with a few times, so I've done a fair bit of cycling in my life. As the channel states, you know, it's all about the miles, and you know, all the hobbies I've got seem to involve doing distance, and cycling is something that I've done for a long time, since I was a kid, obviously, and it's something I've loved all my life. I'm really keen on it, and I didn't plan to get an electric bike. I don't need an electric bike. I can still cycle quite well on a normal bike, and I get up the hills and that, no problem. But this one kind of appealed to me because I was wanting to dabble with it, but because it had the 8-speed enclosed gears and the belt drive, that really was the sealed the deal for me. There was 70% off the price of this bike as well. $3.5 grand normally this specialised bike would cost. Well, in its day it would have been $3.5 grand, but got 70% off it, so that made it a really decent price for entry into the electric market. It's got proper steel mudguards. It comes with a rack that you can fit your bag on. You can buy its own bags for it if you want. I bought the additional battery range extender for it, so I've got that to fit to it. And the bonus was that it came with a computer, but my Garmin sat-nav fits on it instead. So the Garmin goes straight on it, so I probably won't even use the computer that came with it. The basket, I mean, it's a unisex bike, right? And I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel a bit sort of funny riding it, because it's not the conventional crossbar type bike. It has got a double bar, and it is a unisex bike, so it's aimed at males or females. It's kind of the Dutch style bike, isn't it? It's that they all ride bikes like this in Holland and so forth. And the basket is a really handy thing, but it's quite a noisy bloody thing. Anything in it rattles like anything. So it's got a substantial carrier on the front. And of course, if you go back to the days of Hovis and carrying the bread, they had baskets on the front, didn't they? But it's in some ways it's very quaint. It's very quaint. It feels a little bit old-fashioned, but it's not, and it's got the big chunky tyres. I mean, you can see the difference in size of the tyres between this, and these tyres are not small. So there. It's a really nice bike. It's got a lot of really good components on it. The brakes are fantastic. The electric assist is it's really amazing. I mean, I left it on the middle setting all the way back on that trip. I never once struggled with it. Even in I had a steep incline going up a bridge that was a crossover, and I breezed up that. I actually breezed up that. If you get the right gear, it makes all the difference. There's obviously 8 gears. The gear changing that I found, I had a couple little flawed moments, but that was when I first was getting used to it, or if I was in a situation where I was, caught out. But overall, the gears work really well. All you've got to remember to do with these gears, because they're not derailleur gears, it's just to back off the pedal or stop pedaling, and it works fine. I was really getting the hang of it. I really enjoyed it. Really, really pleased with the bike. I mean, that made that trip enjoyable, And you still have to exercise. I mean, this bike will do 2 times your effort. It's not, whereas a lot of the other bikes, will do 4 times the effort. This one will do 2 times the effort. So the beauty of that is that you still have to work a bit, but also you get the extended battery range. I'm not ready for a full-on electric bike. I'll probably never be ready for a full-on electric bike. But I've got to say that I'm really pleased with what this does for you, how much assist it gives you. Works really well. So I'm going to bring this into my channel and do a bit of cycling, which I always intended to bring in a bit of cycling. Because like I say, the channel's mainly is about all my hobbies, which really does involve covering miles. 2 wheels. I was destined to ride a motorbike, my love of 2 wheels goes from being a small boy, and it was always going to rattle on from this to motorbikes to, big Harley Davidsons, it was always going to be like that. Behind the cover is my project bike, which I keep not telling you about, my project motorbike, and I'll get to that eventually. The VFR's in the workshop now, back in the workshop now, getting work done to it after me sorting out this one. But anyway, I just thought I would, let you see the bike, and I will get it out again, and I will go over it better, and I'll go over the spec. I think it's 35 newton meters or something like that is the torque that it gives you. But it really does work well. It really does, and I'm really pleased with it. Really pleased with it. And that was quite a comfortable ride. I mean, that was 16 miles of all different terrains, and I even took it through some gravel and that, and it did really well. And because of the electric assist, it's amazing what you can get through and get away with. No, I'm very pleased with it. Very, very pleased with it. You can get a smaller sort of rack here, or not a rack, but a sort of a smaller basket, if you like, for, you know, holding rucksack. So you can take this off and obviously just put your rucksack on the front there. It is quite a neat thing, but I don't know, you know, it's the masculine side of me is struggling with that a little bit, but I shouldn't, you know, it shouldn't matter, you know. But anyway, I'm really pleased with the bike. It's a real good find, and I'll go more into why I bought it, and bring in a bit more about my history with push bikes, because it's, you know, I've been around push bikes quite a long time, and I do have a few tales to tell. But anyway, there we go. That's it done. Yeah, great. Looking forward to this year coming. There's going to be lots going on. Anyway, take care, everybody. It's bloody chilly still, and catch up with you at some point. Bye for now.